Good morning, students. I'm Kalpana, your English educator from DAV Police Public School, Kurukshetra. Today we are here to learn about a new chapter. The title of the chapter is Long Walk to Freedom, written by Nelson Mandela. Students, actually, it is an autobiography. So, first of all, you should know what is autobiography. Autobiography means an account of a person's life written by that person only. Okay, so let me introduce the chapter first. In this chapter, the South Africa remained under the British rule for more than 3 centuries. Since 1948, a very cruel policy of apartheid was followed by the white rulers. According to this policy, white and non-white people were kept separate from each other. They were educated under separate systems and were kept in or out of certain areas. The blacks of Africa bitterly opposed such racial discrimination. At last, after a long struggle, democratic elections were held in which Nelson Mandela was elected the first black president of South Africa. Students, let me explain the summary of the chapter. After a long British rule of more than 300 years, South Africa became a democratic nation. In 1994, Nelson Mandela became the first black president of the country. He was sworn in on 10th May 1994. The inauguration ceremony was held in Pretoria, the administrative capital of South Africa. A large number of dignitaries from all over the world came to South Africa on this occasion. It was the largest ever gathering of international leaders on the South African soil. In his inaugural address, Mandela thanked all the guests and called South Africa's victory as a common victory for justice, for peace, and for human dignity. On behalf of his nation, he pledges that they will liberate all their people from poverty, hunger, suffering, and any kind of discrimination. The whole view of South Africa history flashes across Mandela's mind and he feels overwhelmed. He is reminded of the inhuman treatment that his people had been subjected to. He is reminded of all those South African patriots who sacrificed their lives for the cause of freedom. Mandela feels pain to think that all those people are not able to see what change their sacrifices have brought about. Mandela hints at the deep and lasting wound that the policy of apartheid had given to his country and his people. He pays a tribute to all those heroes who underwent the brutalities of this system. He calls them the truest gems and diamonds of his country. Mandela says that it is from these people that he has learned the meaning of courage. He has learned that courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over fear. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. However, Mandela bears no ill will against the whites. He says that no one is born hating another person. People only learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love also, which is a more natural feeling. Mandela recalls what freedom has meant to him at the different stages of his life. As a child, freedom meant to him the freedom to run in the fields. As a student, it meant the freedom to read what he liked and to go where he liked. As a young man, it meant the freedom to develop his potential, the freedom to earn his living, and the freedom to marry and have a family. But then he realized that all these were transitory freedoms. Now, freedom to him meant the freedom of everyone who looked like him. In other words, the freedom of all African people. Mandela says that his hunger for freedom filled him with courage. It changed him from a frightened young man into a bold one. Now he realized that he couldn't call himself free unless each one of his people was free. The chains on any one of my people were the chains on me, he says. Mandela does not find any difference between the oppressor and the oppressed. He says that the oppressor needs to be liberated as much as the oppressed. When an oppressor locks someone behind bars, he forgets that he himself is locked behind bars of hatred and narrow mindedness. In fact, the oppressed and the oppressor alike are robbed of their humanity. Both of them need to be liberated from their respective prisons. So that's all for this chapter, students.